Bottoms up, Monger Maniacs. We are back. Show number 87. Technical difficulties. We do apologize. I'll take the bus for that one. Trying to push a little bit more technology that my lap had to offer. So we're going to go ahead and push on. Show number 87, EBSN Online, right here. Make sure you check out all the other shows. And we are right here at 60 East Jackson Street, Millersburg, Ohio, 44654. And here comes the Millersburg Brewing Company story with the one and only, the owner, Bill Baker. What's going on, Bill? How we doing?
Hey, thanks for coming, you guys. But we're excited about our beer, and this is great that you guys came to taste some. And I see you've had a few already, so this is really good.
Well, I'll tell you what. The Lot 21 is a fantastic blonde. I enjoy that, and I'm the type of guy that I really like to start it out right there at the low ABV. You got to be able to brew that, and I'll tell you what. Y'all brew it just fantastic.
You know, that's a great story because I was always a Pilsner drinker, and we started this kind of as a bet, me and another fellow, and it got out of hand, and all we made was Pilsners to start with. And all of a sudden, I get a brewer, and he talks me into a stout. He talks me into an IPA, you know, the pale ales. And now I'm sitting here drinking a sour is my favorite beer. And it just tells you how you can be led along, you know, your taste path to do this. And it's a great journey,
Yeah, great journey. Now, talking about a journey, I got to get the story. You know, before talking about the tap rooms and everything else like that you have to offer here, I'm going to go ahead and you I see as well.
Oh, we're really proud of that. It's called Very Limited and Very Good. You know, that's all we're going to do is 8 or 9 items, but we're going to try to knock it out of the park, every one of them.
Wow. Now, I can't wait to get a little order in here in a little bit because we're going to do a little after show. We're going to do a little tour. And I'll tell you what, I say let's do a turn back the clock, Squiz. Let's do a...
like Sinead O'Connor?
Yeah, like a Sinead O'Connor.
Connor like type deal?
Yeah, like...
turn back time?
Yeah, turn back time,
not?
share.
Yeah. That is share. You're right.
Let's do a little live.
Way to know
let's do a live tour. Let's do a Facebook live tour after the show today.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that sounds great. Marty would be great for
We
that.
haven't done that in a while. And that's right. We're going to have Marty, your head brewer, on later on in the show.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really exciting as well. Once again, we are at 60 East Jackson Street in Millersburg, Ohio, at Millersburg Brewing Company. And something tells me everybody's going to know a little bit more than just French Ridge when you decide to click off the mic and stop listening to us today. So without further ado, Bill, take me back. We were talking a little bit about your building before we came on the air. Take me back to the beginning, and I'll tell you what. Take me back to 2 years before this even happened.
That's a good time because I do another number of businesses. I'm in oil and gas. I'm in other businesses, but I want to redo downtown Millersburg. It's a great town, but the buildings were in blight, needed help. I was here and decided to grab the first corner building here and redo it, and I did this in 1995. And we put a restaurant in the bottom of it, and a guy from over in the east decided to do it with me called Bags, and we'd call it an Irish pub. And Bags is a tremendous partner and tremendous builder, and all of our shirts say Amish Irish on the back of them, and it became a big stag for bikers and everybody to come in. But I love drinking beer, I'll admit that to anybody, and decided we need more beer. And my son-in-law, who's standing out here, and my daughter got involved with making beer at in their basement. And his beer was pretty good, and we decided we sell a lot of beer. Why don't we maybe look at this? And there were 3 junk buildings beside me that had one person in 3 of them dilapidated. And we started tasting this and said, look, why don't we just make our own beer? I'll buy some buildings here, and let's set this up. So I bought the next 3 buildings and got online and started looking for something to buy for a brewery, and we found something out in California, the Silverado, and we actually bought the dang thing the same day we saw it, and that scared us to death because we said, okay, this has all been fun till now.
Who does that?
Who does that? And we didn't even have a place to put it, but we bought it, and we shipped it in, and we redid the buildings, and these are all 1906 to 25 buildings that we have redone the basements and the tops for our tasting room. And now we're just so proud of it that we're actually bringing people into town, businesses into the town close to us, bus tour into town. And what's great now is they're redoing the courthouse across from us. It's just like a revitalization of a small town, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. And this brewery is going to get the king hub, I think, of it, that we're right in the middle of it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, you guys have a nice facility here. And
Thank
like
you.
you said, it's
By the way, this is a 1920s look with the black ceiling, and these fans from California are propellers. And I wanted this 20s industrial look here to come back to the 20s, and the peened, behind the bar, the peen steel, everything, and the brick. Everything's an industrial look here that we have. It's not fancy, but you feel like you're in a brewery, a real brewery tasting beer, and I love that.
Yeah, you do. Well, you are a real brewery.
Hey, thanks.
I
like that. Enjoy that.
You should feel like you're in a real brewery.
Well, with the awards we've just won the past 2 years, this is incredible, too. This just came along from nowhere, and now we're a national competitor and a world competitor. After Marty will explain this to you, and I can't believe it when I hear these awards that we win with 8,000 entries, and here we get a gold medal, and it's just amazing in Denver. And then the World of Beers, just a month ago, we end up getting a bronze for our pumpkin, which everybody, by the way, listening, you got to try the pumpkin. 10%, little cinnamon around the rim.
Is it out yet?
Yes, it is. The lady just had it right there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know the pumpkins usually start coming out around this time.
And her boyfriend took her home.
That's a one and done right there, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Now, what do you, well, I'll tell you what, I'll leave that for Marty. I was going to talk about the pumpkins, but I'll talk to Marty about that.
Marty, you want to get in detail with Marty. That's not my thing. My thing is helping to design the footprint, is the buildings itself and the logo and designing the beer cans. That's kind of my deal, and I love doing that. My daughter runs everything here, runs the show. Marty manufactures the show, and I'm kind of the stagehand that stands back and watches them behind the curtain, and I love it. I love it.
Hey, that's all right. That I kind of feel like sometimes that's what I do on TVMS, and I threw a nice big rock in Squiz's game plan by saying, "Hey, let's use this laptop today instead of another one." So yeah, I get it. I do enjoy your beers. You guys definitely keep up what you're doing.
Well, you're at starter kit number 1 there. Marty made that one for me because he knew I would drink it. But after that, he said, now we're making my beer. And I had to go along, and I did. And he was right. He just brought me along. So it's very good.
Which one is he drinking over there?
Marty, are you drinking the sour now, Marty? What do you have? Oh, okay, this is the newest one. This is a Hellas. He'll got to tell you because we're going to competition with this beer, but that's another story he can tell you here.
Now, how long have you and Marty known each other?
Well, it's been 5 strenuous years, I can tell you. It seems like 7, but I think it's 5. 10.
Long
maybe.
5? That's a long 5.
Hey, nothing good comes out of just being gentle. I mean, things have to be tug of war to make things right, and we do it. I mean, that's the way we get it done.
Hey, if you're not pushing, you're pulling.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's right.
And if you're not doing either, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, but we're getting to the top here, but it's push shove, and we like it this way. I mean, it's just nothing easy about it, and it's cool.
Now, 2012 established.
Yep.
Now, I'd say it was 6 years ago. There's a lot of new breweries that's popped up since you guys.
God. The competition is through the roof.
Where does Bill find himself at? All right, we're talking about the competition real quick. If Bill's not having a beer at Millersburg, where does he have a beer at? What brewery does he have a beer at?
I live in Columbus 80% of the time. They run this, but I find my beers at different places and go in as a salesman and sit there. I'll have my beer and sell it to everybody else. But we have it a lot established in Columbus, and it's getting more and more and more. And you're actually, who was drinking out of a glass? Is that a Rail glass? Rail is one of our big people.
The Rail, the burger joint.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I love the Rail.
Well,
those are probably my
you,
favorite burgers in Columbus.
They're one of our biggest people that are based in everything we come out with. They have 4 of our beers on all the time, and they have been just fantastic to work with, and their food is fantastic too. So Wherever they go, we're there, and we have other people that do the same thing, but we're growing. And I like to grow in a 45-degree angle. I'm not here to try to make everything in a year. It's a 5-10-year plan that we have. Win awards, win quality, be good, bring in customers of long time. We have so many people in here now from Canada, Indiana, Wyoming. The girl that was just sitting there was from Washington and knew about us from Washington, and that was having the pumpkin. And she had heard about that from a friend of hers in Columbus, so they drove up here from Columbus, which is, what, an hour and 30 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
That's an
Not
easy,
close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to have the pumpkin.
hour and a half from Delaware. Ohio, I
Yeah,
can tell
just
you
to
that.
have the pumpkin. So this is the kind of stories that we love now, that people are out grabbing other people, and we really like that.
Wow. Now,
A quick story on Rosie, by the way.
yeah, that's what I was
you
about
want
to
talk
get.
about Rosie?
I got.
I got to tell you, because you got it on your shirt.
You.
You got it on your shirt here. Okay, Rosie, I always wanted something. By the way, our county is number 2 in the United States of horses to people. What do you think number 1 is?
Whoa.
Lexington, Kentucky. I'm not going to go any
right.
further
No.
than that.
I was gonna
Okay.
say
So
somewhere in
I have
Kentucky.
to have a logo, and the Amish built the bar. They built this. They're good friends of mine. I won't say that they have our beer, but I'll wink to you on that. But anyhow, I wanted a horse that looked something fun, and what Rosie became is, now people here that are my age, I'm 65, will know this. Lee Marvin was in a movie back in the 60s called Paint Your Wagon, that they trained a horse in 2 weeks to be drunk like him and lean up against the side of a building like it was drunk. And that became my Rosie. I took that horse's face and drew this design, and that's how Rosie came alive. And people just love the logo now, and Rosie became an icon. And, of course, Lee Marvin has always been an icon, and that was a blast to do something with that movie, since it was my favorite anyhow.
Now, with Rosie, are you a big horse guy? Do you have business
I have
in horses?
my daughters all rode horses in high school and stuff, and we went through the barrel racing across the country and the whole thing, did all that. No, I'm not a big horse person now. I'll bet on a horse once in a while, but the horses here are the main way to transport people. And in front of our brewery, they go back and forth all day. I mean, we have horses live here all the time.
That's crazy. It's
And
like,
across from the courthouse, they have a stanchion to tie up 14 horses just across the street, because they come in, tie their horse up, and they go to the courthouse. So, I mean, we're about horses. Our trail here that goes through here, all the horses are on trails that go for 23 miles, just keep them off the highway. So it is half of our population in this county travels by horse. They do.
Wow. I did not know that.
All through
There's
these hills.
42,000 people here. Half of them are Amish in the east side of the county, mostly. Some over here, they travel by horse.
I'll tell you what, Bill, you seem to really, really love Millersburg.
I do. I just love the area, and this is what makes it believable to do this. And I love to come back here. And I wish I was here more days a week, but I have other businesses in Columbus, and I am down there doing things. But selling beer it's a gift.
It's
it's
it
a
is,
gift. Anybody like you, it's a gift.
It is a fantasy
each morning,
come true.
Every night when I go to bed, that's my final prayer. Thank you for letting me sell beer.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for allowing me to be in the industry.
Wow, man, that is fantastic. Now, I'm sure you guys do some community stuff. Maybe this is a nice nest egg from there, but maybe you can touch upon this. Some community stuff here in Millersburg, I'm sorry.
Well, we do a lot of gifting to different organizations and things we do, but I come into this with a history from Share Christmas, which is our county-wide organization for giving, and that as we do this. Okay, and it's called Share Christmas in Holmes County, and even, who was it that had us on his radio station, the famous radio guy,
Spartan Biscuit?
no, the guy died here last year. That was 50 years. I can't remember his name, but he recognized our Share Christmas as one of the great organizations of a small community to come together. Because I think we have something neighborhood of 88 churches involved, and the community at large. And
The event. I'm really proud of it.
Wow. Now, do you see any expansion? I have not went on the tour yet here, Bill.
Well,
so
Marty's going to take you on the tour, and then Marty, at the end of that tour, will show you what our expansion looks like. But we have enough room to add a bunch of 30 barrels here.
There we go. That's what I was looking
for. A bunch of 30s.
Are you staying in the same block, or are you going to have to look for more spots?
No, we can't move. We actually are not allowed to move. We can't. I mean, we're connected, and to do this, we have to stay here the way the rules are. So that's why we bought the extra buildings, and we have another renter up here that's very good, but they know that the way things go, as I grow, they're going to eventually not be there. So we work hand in hand. It's a symbiotic relationship.
That's awesome.
They bring people to us, we bring people to them, but eventually it's going to be all 30 barrelers sticking up through these floor here about 4 feet down through here.
Nice. Hey, Squiz, you want to take a quick break? Bring Mara on. I want to talk.
Yeah.
When we get back, I want to talk with Mara about.
You got to get the real gas on here because she is gas.
All right, there it is. We're going to be right back on the Beer Monger Sessions show number 87 right here at Millersburg Brewing Company.
And thank you guys.
As you know it, and we're going to bring the real gas. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
It really is the difference between winning and losing, being able to get your hands inside, defeat blockers, and it works at all positions and all skill levels. I'm Joey Bosa. See the difference to your game.
Your version of suiting up looks very different. Because the world is constantly evolving.
Board meeting.
And so is PowerBond. That's why we're back with remixed recipes and all new products to help you power on and savor every moment. Welcome to the new us.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
It really is the difference between winning and losing, being able to get your hands inside, defeat blockers, and it works at all positions and all skill levels. I'm Joey Bosa. See the difference to your game.
all right. We are back. Show number 87, the Beer Monger Sessions, right here on EBSN Online. That's right. And we are at Millersburg Brewing Company at 60 East Jackson Street, Millersburg, Ohio, 44654. And I'll tell you what, it was a great adventure coming out here. Very beautiful. Not one highway, Squiz. Not one major highway.
Beautiful
driven.
country.
An hour-and-a-half drive with not one major highway. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And our guest on the show right now is Mara. And
hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
Good, doing well, thanks.
All right. Just go ahead and scoot up a little bit there on the mic. And you know what? I'll tell you what, Bill. Bill had some really very interesting. I'll tell you what, Bill. I'd like to have Bill on a lot more of the shows.
Oh, I bet you would.
He'd be a lot
He's
of fun.
character.
You imagine Bill and Colada get together in one show?
No.
Yeah. I don't know if that could. That would be a Friday night after dark for sure. Him and Lenny would be insane. But Mara, we're talking about a lot of crazy stuff. We talked about the story. We talked about Wild Rosie. Now, from what I understand, you are the head of the operations.
Yes, I am. I don't like to claim it
Get
all
up
the
on that
time,
mic.
but a lot of work. But I feel like I have a lot of good people working for us, so I can't take all the credit, so to say.
Yeah, there it is. And you know what? If it takes a great place to surround yourself by great people, so that's what I say. Now, how long have you been here? How long have you been in the business here?
We opened in 2013, May of 2013. Demo and liquor license process started summer prior to that. So
you've been here from the get-go then?
Yes, for sure, I've been.
All right. Now, have you grown up around this type of atmosphere, craft beer breweries or anything?
No, not at all. So this was all new to me and learning. My dad's been in oil and gas his whole life, and so he had his own business prior. So I attribute a lot of the work ethic. He had a lot of people working for him as well. My stepdad as well has his own farming business, and I feel like I was just raised around great people to work your ass off.
Work your ass off. Yeah, so I've had to work my ass off. That's why I'm ready for anything.
Yeah. Right. That's right. So, when this came about, I was
awesome.
like, I have no idea what we're doing, but luckily we landed Marty Linden, and he was a wealth of knowledge with the craft, brewing industry, and honestly learned so much from him. So I thank him every day.
Yes, and we're going to have Marty on later on in the show, you Monger Nation, Monger Maniacs, so you're going to make sure you want to stay tuned. All right? Now, we've got, we're going to talk a little bit about the reach. All right? How far can I know you guys are taking care of your backyard.
Yes.
As in taking care of the people that want to drink your beer here.
For sure.
How spread out are you in the state of Ohio?
Well, we go all the way down to Cincinnati, Dayton area. We're up in Sandusky. So we have 5 different distributors that cover the state of Ohio. Northwest Ohio is kind of a territory it's kind of a dead area for us. We'd love to be up there, though.
Wow.
So we're all over. It's just trying to keep up.
Yeah, just trying to keep up. That's right. But make sure you take care of your backyard.
Yes, for sure. Our surrounding areas where we started, and they're some of our greatest customers or core accounts. So,
do you guys package on site here?
What's that?
Do you package your beer on site here?
Yes. And we'll give you guys a tour. We'll show you the canning operation as well.
And that's going to be fun. You're going to want to stay with us because on the Beer Monger Sessions Facebook page, we are going to go old school. That's right. We're going to go old school, and we're going to do an after-show pint walkthrough going live. Man, I'm excited for that. We haven't done that in a long, long time, Squiz.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they make a lot of beer here, just from what I've recalled. I remember trying you guys at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, so it's probably when we first came
out.
Yeah,
I remember seeing you guys in my local store in Columbus and being like, I've never seen this before. I'm going to try it. And that was, I'm just thinking back, I shop at that store a lot because it's near my house, through the owners. And I remember talking to the owner about your beer. And he was like, oh, yeah, they're brand new. So, yeah. It had to have been at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, Marty and I actually, last week, we just looked at each other like, can you believe it would come to this? Because I know my dad spoke on the Pope's Pumpkin Beer coming out in cans, and that's been the past couple of weeks. You know, we've just been trying to get everything.
Wait a second. You said come out in cans?
Yeah, we're canning it this year.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
Oh wow! He said nothing about that.
He did not say that.
Why would this has been
there
our
it is,
world
Monger
for the past
Nation, Monger Maniacs. Listen to Mara, what she's got to say.
Well, so next week it will be going out to all of our distributors who have ordered. The Pope Pumpkin Ale will be in cans, so out in distribution in Ohio. We're so excited.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, we're excited.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That is going to be awesome. Now, is it going to be regular 12-ounce cans then?
Yes.
All right, cool. Standard?
We'll show you guys the labels. You'll get first look over there.
Oh,
when
wow.
we
Oh,
over there.
well, we're about to get VIP.
An exclusive.
You're definitely going to want to check this tour out,
Yeah.
Monger Nation, on the Beer Monger Sessions Facebook page. So that's going to be really big. And, man, once again, I want to apologize about our technical difficulties and errors earlier. That was me trying to push my laptop a little bit further than what it probably should have went. But I had some really cool produced stuff that I was really proud of that I wanted to show everybody. But
it looked good. We'll get it.
Yeah,
we'll get it onto a more powerful computer. It'll be
I was
all right.
pretty proud of it. I just wanted everybody to see it, but you know, technical difficulties fell on that was my fault.
I thought it was just because you're in Amish countries, you know.
Well, no,
it's not.
I'm starting to
not
think
all great up here.
Well,
the service. So to
yeah.
say.
Well, I think that might contribute to it. To be honest,
It could.
Maybe not my laptop, but maybe a couple other things. Squiz's laptop's running just fine.
Mine's
right now.
just fine. Got
I
no
know.
drop frames. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm good.
know. Oh yeah, trust me. So Silky gave it to me too. How can people get a hold of Millersburg Brewing Company beer? Because do you do dock sales? Or is it going through a distribution?
It just.
I know you distroed, but
Yeah, I mean we do sell kegs and you know if that's what you mean retail
Yeah.
sales. Yes, and what we suggest is a lot of times just to contact us. They can tell us their territory, you know, where they're at. If we can get them hooked up with a distributor in that territory, then, you know, obviously they have to go through them. So.
Do you guys have multiple distributors in the state of Ohio then?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. We have, we work with beverage distributors out of the Cleveland area. We work with 17th Star in Columbus area. We work with Matesic Distributing in the Newark area. Muxie distribution down like St. Clairsville area, in Mansfield and Maple City, and so it would be the west.
Nice. Shout out to 17 Star Amanda. You're our rep over there at Barley Hopster, so we can get all that great Millersburg beer. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
She was in last night.
Yeah, she was in today.
Yeah, well, she was in last night as a customer.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, so there it is, man. You know, if you're trying to get it in your store, shop, or bar, make that phone call. Don't hesitate. All right, call up here. Just to, you know, weeks ago I shot an email out. You guys responded quickly. You guys have very, very quick correspondence. Store or in your house. Bam. Give them a call. They'll let you know what the next step is there.
I do want to say one more thing. With that, we did just, I think Kroger's going to give us a shot, so they are bringing our pumpkin on for the Columbus, in the Columbus territory to start out with. So be looking for the pumpkin with Kroger in the Columbus area, which we're excited about.
All right.
In cans.
Wow. There it is. Pumpkin beer. Right there.
It's all about the pumpkin right now.
It is all about the pumpkin. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back. We're going to have Marty, the head brewer, and we're going to be tasseling with a little bit of technical difficulties. Stay with us. We'll be right back on the Beer Monger Sessions radio show right here on EBSN online. Stay with us.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert? Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
It really is the difference between winning and losing, being able to get your hands inside, defeat blockers, and it works at all positions and all skill levels. I'm Joey Bosa. See the difference in your game.
Your version of suiting up looks very different because the world is constantly evolving.
Board meeting?
Board meeting.
Board meeting.
So is PowerBond. That's why we're back with remixed recipes and all new products to help you power on and savor every moment. Welcome to the new us.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
It really is the difference between winning and losing, being able to get your hands inside, defeat blockers, and it works at all positions and all skill levels. I'm Joey Bosa. See the difference in your game.
Your version of suiting up looks very different because the world is constantly evolving.
Board meeting?
Board meeting.
Board meeting.
And so is PowerBond. That's why we're back with remixed recipes and all new products to help you power on and savor every moment. Welcome to the new us.
All right. We are back. Show number 87 right here. The Beer Monger sessions on EBSN Online. And we are right here in the heart of Millersburg, Ohio at 60 East Jackson Street at Millersburg Brewing Company. And we've had Mara on the show earlier. We had Bill, the owners. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to try to catch up with Bill after the show. It's going to be a fun one, I can already tell. Now, don't forget, Facebook fans and all you Monger maniacs out here in Monger Nation, right after the show, you're going to want to stay peeled, keep your eyes peeled to our Facebook page, because we're going to be going live after the show, and we're going to be doing an old school after-show pint tour right around here, and we're going to see everything that goes on at Millersburg Brewing Company. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring our final guest of the show, and that is going to be Marty, the head brewer. That's right, Marty, the head brewer of Millersburg Brewing Company. Welcome, Marty. Welcome. How you doing, brother?
Great. Appreciate being here this evening.
All right. Well,
Get right up on that mic,
Get
Marty.
up on that mic, Marty. No, thank you. Thank you for having us here. I'll tell you what, the drive was a little challenging. It was beautiful.
Hope you didn't run over any buggies on the way here.
No buggies. I seen some roadkill out there on the road. That's about it. But You know, the equipment and the technical aspects of the show are definitely being tested here in Amish Town.
Oh, it's always tested on this Amish area.
You know, now you know, we've got the tap room here. You know, the tap room is open Sunday 12 to 6 p.m., closed on Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. On Thursday 11:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Friday 11:30 to 12 a.m. and then Saturday from 11:30 to 12 a.m. as well. So there's 6 days a week for you to get down here and get on this Millersburg Brewing Company beer. And not to just to mention the beer, but they have food here as well. They have food here as well. So we're gonna dive right into some of the cool stuff. I think everybody's waiting for Squiz, and let's go ahead. Let's crack this egg. Let's crack this egg called Marty. So Marty, to talk about the course here, let's talk a little bit about the course. Let's tell everybody what the core beers are, and you know how they've all become.
Well, our number one selling beer, both here in the tap room and distribution-wise, is our French Ridge IPA. 5 years ago when we opened, we had 3 fermenters downstairs. Our number one selling beer was our blonde ale. We started with the blonde ale, a red ale, French Ridge or IPA, a porter, and a stout. And over the first 3 years, trying to convert everybody. I mean, we were 5 years ago, there was only 60 some breweries in the state of Ohio. And we were still trying to convert everybody from the macro beers to craft beer. And this being in the middle of Amish country, in the middle, basically nowhere in Ohio.
Nowhere.
Well, nowhere. We're trying to convert everybody to craft beer. So our blonde was our biggest selling beer, but by the time we were 32, 36 months into from our opening, our IPA became our biggest selling beer, and we started canning it at year 3 and been canning it ever since. It's our largest selling beer right now, our French Ridge IPA. It's the most distributed beer that we have right now. And all of our brew crew gets tired of making French Ridge, of course. But,
it's like, oh, no.
But we have started, we started making the hazy IPAs about 6 months ago. When we had to get on the kick of making pumpkin Oktoberfest, we kind of let those slack, which right now we're out of all of our hazy IPAs. We're going to get back on those as soon as the pumpkin is in cans next week. Actually, starting tomorrow, we're canning like 400 cases of pumpkin, and next week another 300 cases of pumpkin. But once that's done, we're back to IPAs, hazy IPAs, and then unfortunately off to our Christmas ale.
Oh yeah. Now, you guys do bombers and stuff like that. Well, not bombers.
Growlers.
One step under. No,
is that what you meant?
One step under, one step above. What are they, 22s?
Well, we did our Doc's Scotch Ale, which won a gold medal in 2016 Great American Beer Festival, won a gold medal for aged beer. We do a 500 milliliter bottle of it.
I've got one of those at Barley Hopsters. I seen it up at Barley Hopsters.
If anybody has any of those out there, save them, savor them, drink them. There won't be any available now till probably mid to late 2019. We're out of everything we had in-house. We didn't make any for this fall release because of our pumpkin, our backcountry burning, our barrel-aged backcountry burning. So the Doc's, if you have it, I still have a couple friends that have the 2016 bottles of Doc's.
Would you say that ages well?
It ages very well. I mean, you could probably keep it 6, 8, 9, 10 years.
Wow.
I've actually made this beer for the last, on a small scale, before Millersburg as a home brewer. I've had it at 9 and 10 years old. It ages very well. So if you have some of those bottles, if they've been kept cool or cold, I would keep them in the refrigerator, keep them in a cooler space or basement. I would put them away because those bottles are going to be valuable, or still are valuable, still are good. The most recent one, the 2017 Doc's Scotch Ale that we put out in 500 milliliter bottles. I know there's several of them out there somewhere, but I would just hang on to them, drink them if you want them. But I mean, it's a very good beer and can age for quite a while.
I wish I had the patience to ale. I'm like going through my first round of aging beers, and I've had one for almost a year.
Almost,
but I just can't. I just drink them. So they're in the fridge. I've got probably assorted 7 to 8 bombers in my fridge at home because I don't really have a cool basement. So I wrapped them in foil to keep the light out.
Oh, that's actually a very good, and that's why we went to canning instead of bottles, because the can keeps the light out of the bottle, keeps the beer fresh. Light struck is the worst thing that can happen to a beer.
I tell people this all the time. Marty, I talk about this all the time. Oh, they drink it out of a bottle. Okay. Well, you understand that can's taking care of that beer better than that bottle is, right?
Well, you want a beer out of a can, but you want to pour it into a glass. You don't want to drink it out of a can like some of the macro beers. The can keeps the beers fresh and as unlight struck as a keg does. I mean, it'll stay there for a long, long time. Just open the can, pour it into a glass, let it set, let it breathe, enjoy it, drink it. I mean, it's so good out of a can.
It really, really is. Can is my preferred method.
Marty, what did you do before you were at Millersburg?
Really?
Yeah. What did you get into?
Oh, I spent 27 years in the banking and real estate world.
Wow,
really?
That's vastly different.
Wow.
Well,
yeah, I didn't call that one. I'll tell you that.
Well, I did. I've got a degree in biology, degree in chemistry, minor in business. I spent 21 years running a small community bank. Prior to that, in real estate, but during that time, I was homebrewing. I actually was really good friends with the original owner of the brew kettle in Strongsville, and
they make good beer up there.
Oh, they make fantastic beer. When we sold the bank in 2008, my wife and I were up in Strongsville eating dinner, and Chris McKim, the original owner of Brew Kettle, walked in to the restaurant and sat down at our table. We were sitting there talking. I'd known him for about 15, 16 years at that time, and he said that his assistant brewer just called him and told him he was leaving to chase his girlfriend to Florida. I said, well, Chris, I'll come up and help you out for a few weeks, whatever. So he said, I don't want no penny-ass waste banker. Whoops.
Get up on that mic.
You can say whatever you want to.
Yeah, you can say it's not. This is
you got to get up on that mic. You say whatever the hell you want to say.
Get
So he didn't want any penny-ass waste banker to come in and get calluses on his hand brewing beer, but he said he knew I could do what he wanted done. So the next morning, the phone rings at 7 a.m. and he says, you really help me out? I said, Chris, I'll help you out. So I went to Brew Kettle, ended up almost 2 years there till he sold the place, and then these guys called me a few times, and I said, it's closer to home. And when he decided to sell the Brew Kettle, I come to Millersburg and been here for the last 5 years. All's been good. It's a passion. I love brewing beer. It's a second life for me. I love brewing beer.
You went from being a banker to brewing beer.
Brewing beer.
I absolutely love it.
How?
Well, home brewing, while I was banking in the banking world, was a no-brainer kind of get away from the stress of the banking world, which was in 2006, 7, 8 was really stressful. So home brewing was a good getaway. So, but this is just a passion. I love doing it. I enjoy doing it. Like Bill said earlier, he just kind of turned me loose, and we brew what's happening in the world. My wife and I spend all of our vacations, all of our weekends out visiting other breweries, making friends with brewers, seeing what's out there. whether it be in Ohio or other states. It's just a good time meeting brewers, finding out what's going on in the brew world.
What was your gateway beer to craft beer?
Great question.
Like to try, to get that got you into craft, that realized that maybe like there's more to the life than Budweiser.
Actually, that's a good question. Boy.
See, I put the screws to you.
Really.
This is tough.
Well,
we saved all the hard ones for you, Marty.
I was weaned. Yeah, that's
weaned. I love
weaned
it.
on the Green Death from. Well, I just lost it, but anyways.
I remember. Now you say that, I remember that. I could see it in my head.
Well, my big brother in our fraternity in college, his dad was assistant brewmaster at Rolling Rock Brewery. So I was weaned on Green Death for Rolling Rock.
Okay.
Wow. But my really first great craft beer was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Which
I knew that.
That was the only thing out there at
the
time.
That's a classic.
I mean, it was just like, it was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and pepperoni rolls in college after that. It's like, among other things. But
yeah, I think Sierra Nevada was a lot of OG crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean,
I've been drinking it for damn near close to 20 years.
Well, and I mean, they were the craft beer. That was it.
Hey, Marty, let's talk a little bit more about your beers. All right, I want to talk a bit about some seasonals. Why don't you tell Monger Nation, all of our Monger maniacs out there, what's coming down the pike for fall, besides the pumpkin in the wintertime? Do you have any small batches or anything, something, just a little something that maybe some of our viewers might want to give you guys a call and get their hands on?
Well, actually, the beer in front of me right now.
We're going to talk about it.
Most brewers, well, including myself, we don't talk about anything that we're sending to Great American Beer Festival for competition. But this beer is a homebrew / pro brew collaboration. Matt Schertz, who is a local homebrewer, engineer at a local company here outside of Millersburg. He's actually one of the highest ranking judges in the state of Ohio, beer judges, JCBP beer judge.
Oh, wow.
He won the regional competition in Indianapolis, Indiana in 2017 for the American Homebrewer competition with this recipe. And so we brewed it for a Pro-Am, which is professional and amateur competition for the Great American Beer Festival. We just finished carbonating this yesterday. It'll be served here tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, on tap, and then be sent to Denver for the competition.
Wow.
It's Matt's Hellas Bells is the name of the beer. It's a very refreshing, unique Hellas beer. That's our latest, greatest beer that we've come out with. One other beer that we will be releasing this week, we did a collaboration with 6 breweries in Northern Ohio for the Great American Beer Festival. This is the first year for this collaboration competition. You could have up to 10 breweries. We have Butcher and the Brewer from Cleveland, Madcap out of Kent. We have Missing Mountain in Cuyahoga Falls. We have Maze Valley in anyways.
In Maze Valley?
Maze Valley. I'm sorry, Maze. I'm sorry, Jake. Sorry about that, Jake. And we have Magic City in Barberton and Millersburg. There's 6 breweries involved in this. We made a Brut or Brute, a dry IPA.
Oh, that's a good style. It's a style that's coming out lately that I like.
It's still under the experimental category, but we infused it with pomegranate juice. So it's a 0 gravity, 0 sugar beer. And it'll be entered in the newest category, at Great American Beer Festival in Denver next month in the experimental category with the 6 breweries as a collaboration beer. And it's called Brutal Palm, Brut Palm. It's a dry IPA with pomegranate juice.
Will that be available for distribution anywhere? Are you guys going to cap it at all? Or?
It will be available at all 6 breweries. That's the only place it'll be available.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So you're going to want to get some of that.
So
you got to go there.
Yep, you got to go to one of the 6 breweries that collaborated with us to have that beer.
How'd you get hooked up with Brewer and Butcher? Because they are one of my favorites in the whole state, and most people a lot of people outside of Cleveland maybe don't know about that much about them.
Here it comes, the Brewer and Butcher story.
Well, it's a long story. John McGroarty, the brewer there, is a fantastic guy. He actually, when he moved from Texas to Ohio, started at Canton Brewing, and we swapped yeast back and forth when he was in Canton, which is about 35 miles from here. And we have been friends, colleagues ever since. He makes some really great beers, knows his stuff. I'm the old dog in this industry. John's one of the newer dogs at the head of the pack. I learn something new every day. If you don't, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. But Butcher and Brewer, he's done fantastic things there. He makes some really great beers.
They really, really do.
Yes.
Yeah. I try to go there every time I'm in Cleveland, which is frequently. So.
Yes.
If you don't mind me asking, what's your capacity here? Do you guys brew 24/7? Because it seems like you make a lot of beer.
French Ridge.
Well, actually, it's a funny thing that our pumpkin beer, our 80 barrels of pumpkin beer we brewed this year, when we got looking at our records, we only brewed 170 barrels of beer in 2013, so the 80 barrels was almost half of what we brewed the first year. This year we'll brew about 2,000 barrels. We're brewing on a 10-barrel system, not that big, but we're double and triple brewing into 30-barrel tanks now. We're adding more. We added our own canning line. We contract canned for about 2 years, and we added our own canning line about 18 months ago. And we've been very fortunate. Our distributors have been good to us. Everybody out there in beer land has been great to us. Our French Ridge, like I said earlier, is our number one seller. But the passion here is just to make good beer, get good beer out to people, and have a good time doing it. And the crew that I got working for me right now, Derek and Hayden, are fantastic. There's 3 of us put out 2,000 barrels of beer. We can it, we keg it. It's just.
It's
wow.
crazy.
Have a good time.
That's what I'm saying. There's not 20, 50, 70 people working at this brewery.
No.
All right? That's just not the way it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Three people, we put out all this beer.
Wow.
It's fun time. I enjoy it. When it's not fun anymore, I guess I'm done. But until then, I don't know when that'll be.
Yeah, I know.
It's fun time.
It's a really fun atmosphere. It's a fun industry, to be in. And I think we all look after each other in the industry, as a.
Definitely. The craft beer industry in Ohio is great. Everybody shares everything. Nobody's going to tell me what they're doing with their recipe, but if you need something, you need some yeast, you need some grain, you need whatever you need, people are there to help you. The camaraderie, the good times, just going to other breweries, meeting people. We can't keep up with all the breweries that are in Ohio, and my wife and I make an effort to get out to see as many as we can on the weekends. But it's a great time, great group of people. I love. It's totally opposite of what it was in the banking industry 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it seems like every time I turn around, there's a new brewery opening up in Ohio.
And just read Rick Arman's post the other day. There's 12 or 14 new breweries opening or filed for applications. It's like it had slacked off for a while. Now it's back. It's great. It's
Brew Pub Nation, baby.
It is.
Hey,
it
for
is.
the brewery, by the brewery.
By the brewery. Drink local.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
get fired up about that
Yes.
stuff. Marty, I'm not going to sit here and bust through some menu with you right now, but I am going to ask you. We've got Rosie's Rations. All right, that's the menu name for the menu.
The food. Food menu.
Food menu. There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Squiz. I'm stuck on. I'm reading this one as I'm talking.
I know
can't
you are.
help it.
I can tell.
know.
But beer is food.
Yeah, it is food. What is your go-to on Rosie's Rations on the beer menu on the food menu?
Actually, the Boss Hog barbecue. That is the.
That sounds
that's my
awesome.
favorite. It's
Pulled pork,
pulled pork.
with apple butter barbecue sauce,
Oh, my.
provolone, bacon, and crispy onions served with chips and a pickle.
If you like barbecue,
Only for $8.99.
If you like barbecue,
Oh man,
I do.
That's actually enough to feed 2 people. If you're drinking a beer, if there's both of you drinking beer, Rosie's Boss Hog barbecue is fantastic.
Sounds awesome.
That's my
Plus,
favorite.
Points for the Duke Boys reference.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
no kidding, right?
Definitely. Yes.
What I was reading, I got completely taken. It was the beer cheese nachos, tortilla chips topped with beer cheese, beef barbacoa, pickled onions, tomatoes, and jalapenos.
I have never seen nachos piled as high as we do here. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, people come out and when the girls bring them out from the back, it's like, oh, I thought this was enough for me, but I can feed the whole bar with this order of nachos. It's good stuff. Yes.
And this is a great choice for everybody out here as well, because I get down with the hummus as well, and you have the hummus and bread made with imported tahini and chickpeas, topped with salsa and served with warm. What's that? Naan bread?
Naan.
Naan. Oh, dude, Squiz is
You
the
ain't
book.
got naan.
I know.
He ain't
I ain't got
naan.
naan. Yeah, Squiz is always naan bread and tortilla
How
chips.
come she gets it and you don't?
It's Indian bread.
Yeah,
you get
dude,
it at-
we've already had this discussion before. Yeah,
I like Indian food.
Yeah,
What
I don't
can
need
say?
Indian food. I don't need a whole lot of Indian
we know
food.
you have to have the lighter stuff, the hummus and the salads, because I was just telling somebody earlier today, it's kind of like the Snickers bar and the Diet Coke early. You got to have the hummus and the salad to go with the beer.
Yeah.
So you're eating. It's fine. I'm having a salad. I can have 7 beers. It's good. That's fine.
Well, at least
good.
7. Yeah.
There's 2 tomatoes on this salad. I'm good for 7 beers.
But
Okay.
I hope somebody did mention earlier that we do have most of the time 20 of our own house-made beers on tap at any one time.
Oh.
20 taps.
20?
20
Yeah,
taps.
Only 20. That's all.
Only 20.
Yeah, only 20.
Up to 20.
Yes.
Well, no, that is awesome. Do you guys do you have any guest taps or anything like that?
We haven't had room for guest taps.
That's a great problem
Yes.
to have. Great problem to have.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, Squiz, I don't know if you've had a chance to take a look at the menu.
I've not.
I
I like that Boss Hog barbecue.
Yeah,
though. You're
I
speaking
did.
my
I
language.
think
there.
you better try one before you leave today.
Yeah, I think the Boss Hog is definitely up our alley because, like I said, Monger Maniacs and Monger Nation, you're definitely going to want to be on our Facebook page because we're going to go old school and do an after show pint right here at Millersburg, and we're going to go live on the Facebook on the Beer Monger Sessions Facebook site. All right, you're going to want to check that out because as of right now, I've seen through one window. And that's all I've seen as production. So I know we're about to open this thing up, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh.
So you got soup on here. I'm a big soup person.
Soup.
You got to have soup.
I like soup.
Soup and bread. I like
What's your
dip.
soup du jour? Does it change every day?
It changes daily, weekly, depending on what's going on. One of the really cool things is our pretzel sticks.
Okay.
I cannot believe we sell truckloads of pretzel sticks and the beer cheese. It's unbelievable. The pretzel sticks are as close to the German real pretzels. They're a long, round. I mean, it's just a really nice. The pretzel sticks. We sell the pretzel sticks. I mean, it's crazy. I can't believe how many we sell of those.
And I mean, I imagine you make your beer cheese here in house.
Oh,
with,
yes.
With your beer.
Yeah, with the beer. It's got our beer in it.
Yeah.
And most of our sandwiches have our onions that our cooks in the back do. Has our Bag's Best Red Ale cooked down with the onions in it.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I like onions. I mean, that's just me.
Onions and pickles, right?
No, not pickles.
I
Not
know
pickles.
Squiz hates pickles.
Not pickles.
Hey, but you know what else? There's a lot more that's going on here at Millersburg. All right, because they got events, bands. You have karaoke.
Oh,
The weekend's partying here, from what I understand.
We karaoke. I'm old school. I don't do karaoke, but
I was about to ask you if you break it out.
We packed the house. If I was going to do karaoke, we packed the house with karaoke. I mean, it's crazy, and the bands that come
live
in,
music, yes,
live music. We have a lot of live music weekends. It's great. I mean, we get. I just can't believe how many people come into the brewery, not only for the beer but for the bands, the karaoke, and the karaoke still just blows me away.
If you were going to karaoke, what song would you karaoke?
Wild Thing.
Man.
Okay. All right.
Wild Thing?
Wild Thing. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a good one.
You do that in the shower, don't you? I know you do, Marty.
Did my wife call you that time?
Yeah, Wild Thing's in the shower at least 3-4 times a week. I promise. No, and that's right.
Every friggin' morning.
Every morning. That's how we stay on top of the game, right?
Yes.
You're not Wild Thing if you're not doing it every morning.
No.
All right. But just to talk about the tap room and all the fun stuff that happens on the weekend, that's 11:30 a.m. to 12 a.m. All right. So that gives you plenty of time to get in here, get settled, get some food, relaxed, have a couple more beers, and get down with some karaoke and some live music right there. So yeah, that's what's going down right there.
And we do samplers. You can get from 1 to 20 samples of our beer. It's a
Do you do flights?
Flights, yes. And our flights, because we don't want the flight to get warm, we want you to enjoy your flight. We do flights of 4, but you can do 4, you can do 5, you can do 6, you can do 20. We don't limit it. If you only want 6, we'll do 6 of them. But our normal, we suggest 4 at a time. But if you want a 5th one, we price them per flight. You don't have to get 4 and then 4 more. But whatever you want of flights, I mean, it's with 20 beers on tap. That's the only way to do it. So you can figure out what you want. If you want flights, if you want a pint, you can figure out what you want. But it's not limited. You can get whatever you want. 1, 4, or 20.
20?
Yes.
Have you ever had anybody order a flight of 20?
I'm sure.
Oh yes,
I'm
yes,
sure.
we have.
Oh, absolutely. Now you guys are also powered by Untapped as well.
Yes. Oh yes. Untapped is great.
Yes. So make sure you get your Untapped and you make sure you're getting all your check-ins. And all right, as myself and Squiz, we are on Untapped as well. We are out there as Spartan Biscuit.
I love
Squiz.
I love
Pretty basic.
Untapped.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. For me, I use it. I like to use it as a what have I drank and did I like it. So I'll be somewhere if I'm in somewhere with a large selection, and I'll look at something and be like, I think I've had this before, and I'll go on my Untapped and check it out and see, did I like it? Didn't I like it? Maybe I have not had it.
Well, yeah. As a brewer, I don't rate the beers that I post on Untapped, but I do keep track of, so I can look and see, did I have this before? Because after you've had like 3,000 beers, it's like, did I really have this one before?
You're at 3,000?
That's my anniversary goal. In the next 2 months, I will be at 3,000.
Whoa, that's impressive. I'm approaching 1,000.
I am such of a undisciplined untapper sometimes. I get so busy. And when I'm at, I'm doing work. I try this, I try that. I feel that you're only really allowed to check an Untapped in if you buy a pint. You're not allowed to do. See, that's the thing.
They do have they have tasters on
taste
there.
a week.
They have tasters on there.
You have to check in a taste.
I think. Well, I think. I think a flight, like a one sip taste.
Yes.
No, a full flight glass. Yes,
I'll agree with you.
That's not fair to the brewery. I think about the brewery when I do the Untapped.
Oh no, a flight. You need to do a flight and check it in so you know what you're how you felt about that beer, or all the beers. I will totally agree with checking in a flight, a taste. Nah,
a full taster, not just a one sip taste.
If you're giving money to the brewery or the establishment, then that's a legitimate check-in.
Yeah, the 3 or 4 inch flights are great. The 3 or 4 inch flights of each beer, when you can taste it and taste it again, sample it, and make a decision what you want. That is a true taste to me. And a lot of people will come in just like the Goza that we have on there, Rosie Goes Wild. People come in and say, "Ooh, it's so tart," and then take the second drink or
you
the
gotta
third
take
drink,
2.
and at that point you'll know whether you like it or not.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
so a flight to me counts on Untapped, but
I think the first taste could possibly be a little bit of a palate shocker too. That's why you take that second taste.
Oh, you got to have the second.
You got to
one.
have the
gotta
second taste.
Yes.
But if I go into a bar or a brewery, like I will ask for a taste before I commit to a pint. By a taste, I mean like a 2-sip. Just that little bit of the bottom where I can get a feeling of I'm gonna want to enjoy a pint of this or not. I won't check that in. But I think a full tasting glass. If you do a flight, if you do a full taster, the whole 3 or 4 inch glass, check that one in.
I'll agree with that 100%.
Word on that as well. I agree.
Or a pint. I don't know.
Now,
pints, obviously, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit on our social media platforms that you can follow Millersburg at. Right now, I've got Twitter, Facebook. Are you guys on Instagram?
We are.
You are on
Yes.
Instagram as well.
Yes.
So that's right. Even in Amish Town, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Monger Maniacs and Monger Nation. Twitter, Facebook, and on Instagram, you can check Millersburg Brewing Company out. And I suggest you do because, I look around here and there's, you're in Amish country, man. I mean, it kind of looks like you are.
Well, we're definitely in
They
Amish
are.
country, but
There's a horse hitching post.
I know.
across the
I mean,
street.
that's the thing. We're from the city,
but
Squiz.
as you can see across the table from us, there's a Harley hitching post too.
Yes, I see. I see.
So
Yeah.
not only horses, bicycles, but
Yeah.
we also have
Steel
Harleys,
horses.
steel horses,
Yeah.
and 2 and 4 wheelers in that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Now, have you ever rode a horse to work?
I've never rode a horse to work. Never.
Never.
I have rode a horse. I have owned horses, but
I was going to say, I know you. I mean, I know you've owned horses.
Well, but
You've had to have owned horses. You're a banker that went brewer.
well, yeah. My daughter wanted to get on a horse, but anyways, in Holmes County, there are actually, I don't know if Bill told this story, but
No, tell it.
there are more horses per capita in Holmes County than any other county in the state of Ohio, and probably till you get to Kentucky or somewhere else. But Holmes County, the horses are king. Did he tell you the story of Rosie?
Yeah, we got the Rosie
Oh,
story,
okay.
but now you've kind of dove me into now the devil. Now the devil.
The devil?
Major Holmes.
Oh.
Major Holmes,
Major
because
Holmes.
now I'm thinking you've got Major Holmes, Holmes County, and Major Holmes being one of your bigger beers that I know.
And Major Holmes was a big-time person in the cavalry here, but nobody knows what happened to Major Holmes after he left Holmes County. Rumors had it that he went to Sandusky, Ohio, and just kind of faded into the woodwork, and
Sandusky.
nobody knows what really nobody knows what happened to Major Holmes after he left Millersburg. So when we first started creating the double IPA, we kind of left it ambiguous as to the hops, and we ended up kind of ambiguous like Major Holmes was, and got into doing different hops with it until we come up with the final recipe of some Citra, Simcoe, a lot of Mosaic hops in it. But that's where we ended up. But Major Holmes is just kind of elusive to what happened after he left Holmes County.
So, first of all, Sandusky, that's where I'm from. But second of all,
God, who cares? Jesus.
nobody cares. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
I am. Major
But,
asshole.
French Ridge. So that refers to a geographical area around here, correct?
Yes, just south of town is the area known as French Ridge, and it was dubbed that because of the French and Indian War. There was the French had camped out on the ridge south of town, so it became known as French Ridge.
I see.
Most of the names of our beers came from local historic events, times, our Lot 21 was the first lot in the town of Millersburg that was built on, which was actually a tavern.
Oh.
And that's where Rosie's owner went to get his beer and feed Rosie the water and beer that was from Lot 21 Tavern, the tavern that was built on that lot.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that either. History's awesome.
That's sometimes.
Sometimes it's pretty terrible, actually.
Sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes it sucks, right?
Yes.
Hey, let's take a quick break into action, all right? Not in breaking into action by taking a break at all, but it's that time.
Oh, you mean that time.
It's that time.
Okay.
It's that time.
It is that time.
It is time for the Barley Hopster Speedy Beer That's Moving. Ladies and gentlemen, today's Bottle Shop Speedy Beer That's Moving. And just to let you know, Millersburg has been a part of that group of beers in the past. French Ridge was one of the OGs in that category back in the day. But as of today, show number 87, we have Clockwork Tangerine. That's right, Clockwork Tangerine by Brewdog. It's a 4.5%er. It's a standout session beer that packs a juicy citrus hit and mellow tropical notes on a toasty and caramel background. That's right, this is your Barley Hopsters Speedy Bottle Shop Beer That's Moving. All right. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you, Brewdog, because as of right now, I know that this particular seasonal is flying off the shelves. All right. Let's go ahead.
Hey, Brewdog, bring back Dead Pony Club.
It ain't going to happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
Hey, bring back Mark Frame.
They buried it.
Bring back Mark Frame.
I know they did.
Yeah.
I know they did, but I know Rick the Brewer, and I'm saying, Rick, bring back Dead Pony Club.
Hey, I'm saying
Rick, it ain't happening.
Hey, it's not happening. It's too expensive. But hey, Brewdog, bring
Make
back
more of that
Mark
tangerine.
Frame. Yeah, there it is. Now, do you guys do some variations to? Have you ever thrown a little fruit juice or fruit up in the old French Ridge?
We have not in French Ridge, but we did throw some, speaking of tangerine, we threw some tangerine in our Kolsch, and it ran out the door faster than the Amish horse down the street.
Oh, wow.
It's, but our new hazy beclouded, we threw some pineapple at it, and it went off the shelf, out the tap room faster than we could shake a stick at. The fruit juice seems to be the latest, greatest thing. The next thing we'll be throwing we're not sure what beer it will be, but it will be pomegranate juice thrown at something in the next few weeks. We'll see how that goes.
I love pomegranate beers.
It's a great thing.
Pretty tasty.
Wow. So you got a laundry list of things that's coming up, Marty.
Well, we try to keep up with what's going on, with keep new things going. Our biggest thing here with 20 taps, we got to keep things rotating. As you know, that the latest greatest thing for the last several years in the retail world is change. Nobody has the same beers on twice. It's just always rotating, always coming up with the newest, latest, greatest. We're trying to come up with different beers, playing around, adding fruit, adding different hops, changing it up. French Ridge will always be French Ridge, but as we go with other things, it'll be changed up, switched up, different hops, different fruit. That's the way of the future.
All right, Marty. I'll tell you what. If there's about a 30 seconds to let the first timers, the rookies, the people that's never been 1 foot in Millersburg Brewing Company, give them your plug, brother. What are they missing out on, and why do they need to be here?
Well, first of all, I don't know how many breweries in Ohio have won a gold medal for a beer in the last couple of years at the Great American Beer Festival, won a bronze medal for the American World Beer Cup, which is worldwide. We're making some damn good beers here in Millersburg. Not to toot my own horn, but if you haven't had, there's a lot of good beers out there. But if you want a great beer, we have 20 beers on tap. you got to come in, have one of our beers. We make damn good beer. That's what our passion is. That's what we do. It's just, you got to come to Millersburg and have the beer.
And you also have a lot of, you have the Millersburg Hotel. There's places to stay. There's campgrounds. There's all sorts of cool things around here.
And just west of us is Mohican. You can go, you camp Mohican.
Get your canoe.
Get your canoe. Get your kayak. It's a great area. All the tourists, all the Amish stuff. I mean, there's a lot to do. Amish, the cheeses, the trail bologna, all the stuff. You got to come to Amish country to enjoy it.
And that's right. And that's where we're at right now in the middle of Amish country, because when you pull up and they've got
a horse hitching post.
Horse hitching
I hitched
post.
your car to it. I don't think it worked.
Yeah. Well,
there is a horse hitching post out back. Lots of parking spaces downtown. But you got to come in and see us.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Marty, that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much. And that was Marty's last call for alcohol. All right. Now, Squiz, give us a last call.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to Millersburg for having us. This is wonderful. I'm glad we got the chance to come here and check out not only your awesome beer, but your beautiful building here. And just the town in general. It's a lovely drive. And I'm gonna enjoy one of these, probably this Boss Hog panini after we get off here and clean up. Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah. So
I definitely think it's Boss Hog time, Squiz.
It
is definitely Boss
Hog time for sure.
You know, first of all, I want to go ahead and thank all of our Monger Maniacs and Monger Nation for staying with us today. Technical difficulties, laptop down, camera down, but just like a great NASCAR pit crew, in between commercials, that's when we were trying to make our adjustments and unscrew everything. But hey, what do you expect when you're in the middle of the valleys right here in Amish Town? And we wanted to come here and get the story firsthand right here from Marty, Bill, and Mara. And it's been a great show, show number 87. Right here at Millersburg Brewing Company. Don't forget those tap room hours. They were only closed on Mondays. All right, Tuesdays and Wednesdays 3 p. to 9 p. Thursdays 11:30 a. to 9 p. and Friday from 11:30 to 12 a. Saturday 11:30 to 12 a. and Sunday 12 to 6 p. Get in here after church and get your panini and drink on. All right, after all your sins are forgiven. Ladies and gentlemen, Monger Maniacs and Monger Nation, this has been a Beer Monger Sessions on EBSN online remote location at Millersburg Brewing Company. We'll cheers you later.